I don't care. Do however you want to do it.
Oh, that's crap. That is. And you say I cheat.
No, see, you see, she dealt that. She's cheating already because it's not supposed to be like that. But I'm gonna take that card anyway.
That's a lie.
No, that's not a lie.
You cheat.
I didn't deal it. You did.
I have to do the whole thing without any assistance, and you get just. Random.
You want me to concentrate on answering questions and playing cards at the same time. You know I can't do two things. That's why. See, that's why you want to play this. Is because
I'm hoping you mess up.
You know I'm going to mess up dramatically. That's exactly what this is. See, now who's cheating?
You.
No.
Hey everybody. So we're taking things a little bit differently. We're going to have our 2 teenage kiddos that are in the house. You're going to hear their voices. They're going to stay off camera, but they're going to be asking us some random questions and we have to answer them. So here we go. What's the first question?
And play cards. See, this is why she does this. It's because she know I can't do both.
You know, he always assumes that I've cheated.
She's cheating.
But he always wins.
No.
So what's the first question?
Shout
out to Michaela and Maddie.
The first one is, what song always takes you back to when you first met?
What's the song that makes you think of the first time we met, honey?
I'm concentrating on the hand here.
Give him another 10 years and then he'll come up with an answer.
Say the question again.
See?
What song always takes you back to when you first met?
We first met.
What's a song that makes you think of the first time we met?
I don't have a song that reminds me of the first time we met.
If you could think of any song.
We were at the movie theater. There wasn't nothing playing.
So no
not
song.
Not when we first met. No. Because I didn't even have
What's
the radio on.
What's the MJR theme song? What's that MJR theme song?
Everybody clap your hands.
No.
Everything's fun at MJR.
That's not it either. Sorry. Although that would probably be closer than anything else.
I mean, I don't know. For me, I think it would be probably the MJR theme song, yeah. Because we met at MJR.
Yeah, we met at MJR.
MJR theme song, that's what we're going with.
What she said.
Fun at MJR.
Oh my gosh.
Now I have that song stuck in my head. Next question.
The first time you thought about kissing me.
Kissing
Kissing
one
each
another.
other.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I started planning that when I found out she had a problem in my garage.
Okay.
We'd like to hear this.
I don't have a problem with the garage. I just find it very sexy when a man has a well put together garage, has tools. You know he's a manly man. He fixes things. And so
garage is an absolute and utter disaster. I don't know how you got that.
But
that's fine.
Okay, first of all, but you had like the cabinets, the all matching cabinets, and like the drawers, and don't you two be laughing over there, okay? So I had a thing where I was like, I always thought that was very attractive because it shows that a man has the ability to fix things, like
or mess stuff up,
which you have the ability to do both.
Yep, I'm talented.
I don't know. Probably the first time I thought about kissing you was probably during one of the conversations that we had when we first started talking. I think. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going with. So that's my answer.
Yep. And mine was after I figured out you had a problem. You got weak knees in my garage.
No, we had talked about that before I had even seen your garage.
I know.
Such crap is what that is.
So you talk about the answer or the hand?
Both.
I was gonna say because the hand ate much better.
Probably during one of our first conversations. Not first conversations, but we had talked for a good month before we ever met in person. But he was always really funny. We were able to talk about very in-depth things, and so I felt like we could. It was going places, so that's probably when.
And unlike that, it just stopped right then there.
So you started planning it from when you first heard about my, we'll call it garage fetish, I guess.
That sounds so dirty.
It sounds very dirty, but we're gonna go with it.
Like the garage.
Next question.
Dirty.
My dirty man fetish.
If you were looking for mom in the supermarket, where's the first place you'd look?
Candy aisle.
Chip aisle.
Yeah. Chip or pop. They're usually right next to each other. Well, actually,
No, you'd be in the chip aisle.
I'd probably be in the frozen food aisle.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm usually not in that aisle for very long because I walk, grab what I got, and I leave.
Yeah, I would say chip aisle. You have a thing for
Yeah.
salty stuff. No wonder you're with me.
Someone would.
Hey, you picked up from here. Nice
I
try,
did?
though.
Okay. I don't need
Wow.
that card anyway.
Okay, I see how this is gonna
Oh,
go.
Yep, you're right.
And you say I cheat. All right, what's the next question?
If someone asked you why you're dating me, what would you tell them?
Somebody ask you why you're dating me. What would you tell them?
Well, if I have to answer that question, you don't see it. You're not smart enough to. Not smart enough. You're not. If you don't,
enough.
yeah. If you don't see what I see, I shouldn't have to answer that question.
If someone asked me why I'm dating you, what would my response be? I'm gonna go emotional on this one because you know how to love me for who I am and not what you can get from me. You make me feel safe and loved and beautiful and all the things.
That's going to change right now.
I hate you. I no longer feel what I'm going to take it back. I don't know why I'm with him. I literally, look at this. I was going to do the same thing to him. He just beat me to it.
Yeah, I don't do it with wild cards. You got a whole bunch of them in your hand.
Crap. I have one. I had one.
That's all it takes is one.
Whatever. Next question.
What's something I'm really bad at, but you won't tell me because you find it cute?
So it's something I'm bad at that you find cute, so you won't tell me.
That you're bad at? Something that you're bad at.
Something that you're bad at. This is a hard one because you're cooking. You're bad at cooking. But when you help me, I ain't saying I'll eat whatever it is you're gonna make.
I don't know if I know of anything that you're bad at. There's a lot of things. There might be a few things that you're not so, you're not expertise at, but
If you had to pick one thing but you find it cute.
Years later.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything that stands out to me.
You're not helpful.
Sorry. That you're bad at. That I find cute.
Pouting?
You're not bad at that.
Bad at
You're,
pouting.
you're a pro at being.
Hey, watch it.
I can't think of anything that you're bad at. That I think it's cute.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I am perfect.
No,
question.
those words were not used. I
Next
just said
question.
not bad at.
That's what you said. Next question.
Um,
Are you going to discard so I have cards
Yes.
left?
I'm gonna try to find something to get rid of here.
if I showed up at your door unannounced at midnight, what would you assume I'd want?
I can't answer that because there's two kids right here.
We know about sex ed, guys.
We've been through this class already.
First of all, I live at his house, so I can't show up to his house. If I was to come knocking at your door at midnight,
Either there's gonna be two things. One, it's gonna get very adult, or she's in some serious trouble.
I hear that. If you show up at my house at midnight, I would assume that you want to sleep because you just got off work too early. Or, sexy time. One of the two. Or you had a crazy harebrained idea. Let's go out in four-wheel when it's freezing cold weather.
I wouldn't go to your house, show up at your door with that, because I know your answer would say, "Hell no, it's too cold."
Go. Next question.
If you saw me at my absolute happiest, what would I be doing?
Absolute happiest. Playing on some kind of heavy equipment with me. Not playing with me on heavy equipment. I mean, like playing with the heavy equipment
While you're
while
there,
I'm with you. Yes. Clarification there. Although I'm sure the other one was happy place too.
what am I doing here? Because I am not.
If I'm at my happiest, what would I be doing, honey?
Yeah, that
Sorry, guys.
Oh, PG.
No PG. Just answer the question.
You would probably be on heavy equipment too.
Or my machine. Some form of machine. I would definitely be off-roading. Most definitely. Did you forget what phase you were on?
Kinda, yeah.
You're on phase 3. I'm on phase 2.
It's not helping me at all because I don't have anything to work with here.
Well, that's what you get for cheating your whole life.
I wasn't.
Next question.
What's something you know about me that almost no one else knows?
What's something you know about me that no one else knows?
Yep, that's what I said.
Well, there are certain things that we know about each other that we will not share with anybody else because we value each other's privacy. But this is crap.
That didn't help me none.
That's a hard one. I don't know.
Something about you that nobody else knows.
No, something about
Something I know about you.
that very few
very few
other
people
people.
know.
Yeah, no.
As much as you like to ride, you are kind of nervous of riding.
I will try anything when it comes to that, but I'm more hesitant than people might know. I think I would say not a lot of people see. The thing is you're a pretty open book.
I know one.
For you?
Yeah. I have a sensitive side.
Yeah, you don't let a lot of people see that side of you. So yeah, your sensitive side.
Most people will think that they'd be like, Ben, sensitive? You full of it.
He's sensitive about. I know what triggers the sensitive side in him, and usually it has to do with somebody he cares about.
What's the most attractive thing you both do without realizing it?
Dude, when you're working outside,
that's why I figured
on
you
the
were gonna say.
tractor or helping me learn how. Sexiest thing is when your alpha male comes out and it's like,
Is it my turn?
I can be my full feminine self, but in that, it's when you're teaching me how to do something, like with the tractor or the if we're trying a new skill on the ATVs.
Is it my turn or your turn?
It's your turn.
Why don't you give me a card that I could use?
I don't know, but we answered the question. What was the question again? Because he's going to ask you.
What's the most attractive thing I do without realizing it?
Flip your quad.
Did you just say flip a quad?
Shut it.
No, that's the scariest thing that she's done.
If I remember very familiarly, you had subsequently go, I didn't know he could run.
I wasn't supposed to be able to.
He came out that AT or that side-by-side so fast, the girls were like, I didn't know he could do that.
I didn't know I could do that either.
Okay, seriously, what's something, what was the question? What's something
What is the most attractive thing about Mom that she does without realizing?
Well, that's why I didn't throw that one. I think
I'm not attractive, apparently, guys.
I'm just gonna have to say just being yourself. And it sounds cliche-ish, I guess, but
Unfiltered.
just being your goofy self. Except for when you throw me garbage like this.
You know what? It's not my fault you can't play cards. And you get lucky and you're able to cheat your way through. So just being me at my goofiest.
Yep. And pulling the hair out of my beard. Seriously.
What's one trait of yours you hope never changes?
What's one trait of yours that I don't want to change? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Like, what's one of your traits that you don't want him to change about you?
What's one of your traits that I don't want?
I think that question was more of like, what's one trait I hope you never change?
Yeah.
So one trait I hope that never changes in you is your heart. Because while you have a firm understanding of where your boundaries lie, you would help anybody. You would cross the street for anybody if they needed help. there are limits. Like I said, you have boundaries.
There's a few people
But
I wouldn't walk across the street for.
You have such a kind heart that not a lot of people are aware of, because you do have the ability to create those boundaries when you've been burned. So I would say your heart. So what's a trait of mine that you'll
I know I would never change your heart. One thing I hope that I would never change.
No, you hope that I don't change.
That you don't change would be your ability to communicate with me.
There's therapists out there to help me with that, honey.
Yeah, but if you use me as a therapist, then you can talk about you're sleeping with your therapist.
Sign me up.
Gosh.
This is supposed to be rated G. I don't know what the hell happened.
It's gone off the rails today, guys.
It's a Saturday. I have to work. It's off the rails.
Well, I hope that never changes either, because we are very good about finding different ways to communicate with one another. And we are not afraid to say, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try it a different way.
Yeah, because once you stop trying to find a way that works, there's the minute you might as well just quit.
Well, and we've found a way that works with us. I mean, our method of just sometimes raw honesty,
I'm good at that.
And feelings get hurt, tears happen, but ultimately we know that, in that honesty, it's meant to bring us closer together. So we don't see it as like, well, he was just being rude, or I was just being a diva, or insert whatever you want to insert here. We're both you're on a run of 7.
Run of 7. And then I get all pairs. Ain't that
But I feel like, yeah, we do a good job about doing, we call them pulse checks, but checking in with one another, making sure, like, when you find somebody that still asks you how your day has been, don't let that go. I don't know what they're talking about over there. Apparently something's really funny.
The good thing is,
Okay,
as long as there's nothing else going on, I can edit all that out. You gotta give me something.
I got one for you. What's one smell that instantly reminds you of me?
Not you, then.
Or you. Whatever.
What's one smell that instantly reminds us of each other?
Yes. Do not say farts, Ben.
That's not nice. I smell like peaches and roses.
Unless you have ice cream.
Babe! What's one smell that instantly makes you think of me and me of you?
I don't necessarily associate smells with you.
Clearly you do. It's just stinky ones.
Well, sometimes they remind me of the dog too, but that's not the point.
So I'm no better than the dog?
No, that's not what I was getting at. See, you can't do this to me. You can't make me play cards and talk on a what's the word I'm looking for? Intellectual level, because it just doesn't work. I can't.
Yeah, but now's when we get the raw answers.
It's just answers that probably should never have been said.
Well, I would say that I can never remember what your cologne is, but I would say cologne, like your cologne, the
certain kind of cologne. Yeah.
It's like I think it's like a Stetson, I think is what it was called.
Stetson.
But literally it can be his body wash, like the Old Spice body wash. It's a very manly smell.
You're holding my damn cards.
I was doing no such thing.
I don't really associate smells. So I don't know how to answer that one.
I'm surprised you didn't say Sweet Pea because you call me Sweet Pea.
I wouldn't know what I call you that, but I would.
That's my body spray.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't recognize that smell. Hell, half the stuff. I worked at a factory for 30 years.
I'm out.
My smell is gone. I dealt that. I dealt that garbage. You deal something better.
So we're both on a run of 7.
So this is the last question. It says, who was the first in your life to know you were falling for each other?
Ooh, who was the first person I told? My mom.
Who was the first person that we told?
Who was the first person
in your life to know you were falling for each other?
So who was the first person you told you were falling for me, and vice versa? Mine was my mom.
You?
You didn't tell any of your friends?
That's none of their business. No, I didn't. I would have told you first. Said the first. You would have been the first.
Who outside of me did you tell first, son?
Dude, that was like 3 years ago. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
You remember talking about me with your friends?
If I had to guess, I would say probably Matt. Probably Matt. My buddy Matt would have been the first one to probably know.
Mine was my mom.
Because he was the one that I talked to about a lot of stuff before you. And when we met, I was talking to him quite frequently about a lot of other stuff. So if I had mentioned it to anybody first, it probably would have been him.
Okay.
That would have been that. And she still can't deal with it. Shh.
Pardonnez-moi. It's not like you can deal either.
I can deal. Usually I deal better cards.
Do you have any questions you guys have been wanting an answer to? Think of any question.
Not any question.
Any question?
I have one for Mom.
I do too.
Go ahead. Yeah,
My question was, how did you know Ben was the one? Like, how did you know when you moved in and stuff? Like, how did you know he wasn't going to be like all the other guys you dated?
Because of the conversations we had right off the rip.
You got to remember,
Because-
we'd been talking for
A month.
over a month before you ever met me, and it wasn't
No,
just
before I ever went out with you.
well, yeah,
You didn't meet them for months after.
right. So there was all that, and
I think the point that I legitimately was like, I'm in deep crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first it was
very
just
first date you were in deep crap.
no. You say that,
That's what you told me.
but I knew I was infatuated with him. I knew I liked him. I knew I wanted to see where this was going. But the moment that I really knew, oh crap, this is either going to go one of two ways.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the person that changes it all, or this is the person that's going to break me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I loved your dad, but I knew if we ended at any point, I would be heartbroken. I would be heartbroken from the fact that you guys didn't get that family life that I wanted for you,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew I would survive it. Because while I loved him,
You weren't in love with him.
I wasn't fully in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
Our circumstances were a bit different. I got pregnant, we got married. I don't want anything bad to happen to your dad, and I was still heartbroken because I had a life with this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the moment that I knew, crap, my heart's on the line here, was we had ended up getting very, very sick like 3 months in. And that was the first time
It's
that,
house full of COVID.
yeah. And
wow, that was...
like I couldn't move my muscles. He had rushed over and
Was it after work?
No,
No.
you had called into work and you had come over and I had gone to the restroom and it was like
You couldn't get out of bed. I had to
he
literally
had
help
no
you to the bathroom.
mom helped me to the bathroom.
No, she wasn't there. I didn't
Well,
see
see, I
her.
don't remember really what, but all I remember is I was so weak I couldn't even get myself to the restroom. And mind you, I'm very conservative. I don't like people looking at my body. I'm very like, and so for him, it was just, he respected my privacy, but I ended up falling asleep and he lifted me off the toilet and took me back to bed. He gave everybody he made sure you guys had your medicine. He made sure I had what I needed. And then he went home. So he came all the way. He drove 45 minutes to help me go to the restroom and make sure that my kids who also had COVID and my mom. So he checked on my mom and he made sure everybody in the house had fluids, medicine, and was good to go for the night. And then he left and he went to work.
I went home. I don't think I was working that day.
I
think it was a weekend. I don't think I was working.
I'm not really sure, but
I came over about 9 o'clock. I think I came over about 9 o'clock ish, and you and Lizzie were in your bed, and the other three were on the floor at the foot of your bed. And so I made sure that, medicines and then you're like, I gotta go potty, and I'm like, okay. So
like, as much as
helped you to the bathroom, and then you were like passing out on the toilet, and I had to hold you.
You had to hold me out to go to the
So
I helped you back to bed, passed out medicines again, and went home.
Yeah. It was in that moment you knew.
After waking up and him hearing the concern in his voice the next day, like, are you guys okay? Do you need me to come down? Like, did blah, blah, blah get her medicine? Like, how's she feeling? Did Lizzie get her breathing treatment? Is she okay? Because at that point, you have to understand, we had COVID so bad. Your mom
didn't have it. She was kind of isolated from you, so she didn't get it.
She was starting to feel a little under the weather, but you made sure that she was doing okay.
Yeah.
But at that point, Mom had also asked me, like, do you need me to take you to the hospital? Like, I'm afraid you're not doing well. And I was on 5 different meds. Liz was on 5 different meds. She was on breathing treatments. We were both on inhalers. Like, it was that bad time.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Where Lizzie and I didn't get out of bed for 2 weeks because we got it the worst. Luckily, we caught it in enough time for the other people in the house, but you guys still had to have medicine. You guys were still tired and lethargic. But I think that was probably the moment I knew when I woke up the next day and I was like, crap, because I felt really horrible because I knew I didn't give you guys medicine. I remember talking to him on the phone and then him hanging up. And then I remember calling him the next day and he said, yeah, I came over. And I don't remember that he came over. I don't remember any of it. He's like, yeah, I made sure blah, blah, blah had medicine. Yep. How are they feeling this morning? And I said, you did what? And he's like, yeah, I came over. I was like, you got me off I was so embarrassed. And to him, it was nothing. It was just, I was just making sure you're okay. That was my most important thing. I didn't think anything of it. It was nothing about, oh my God, this woman's so high maintenance. It was like, no, she needed help and he was there. Just like that. And it wasn't just help for me. It was help for my kids. When did you know that I was the one?
When was the first moment you knew she was going to be the one?
Which I've heard stories where men figure it out within like the first month. But I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah, no, I know I didn't figure it out in the first month. I honestly don't know until you moved in, I had probably thoughts, but probably nothing definitive. For the simple fact of being burned so bad in the past.
You had a lot of demons.
That there was a lot of safety guards that I had put in place, so I never would jump to those kind of conclusions. That'd be just.
But was there some moment after I moved in that you?
Honestly, the honest opinion, probably. As of remembering them at this moment, no. But there probably was moments.
So what set me apart from other, even past relationships or?
Just the ability to communicate with you. Right off the rip. Without ever actually diving into a whole bunch of conversation and
We had a lot of difficult conversations
it was
right
a
off the
lot
bat.
of difficult. We had enough difficult conversations to last the first 10 years of marriage before we ever even decided, almost before we went on our first date.
Well, because we both had one of the first things that we had said to one another was, like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. I've got kids involved. I'm not getting their heart broken.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand that if you're going to be with me, you're going to come with a package. Like, I come with a package. My kids are part of me.
Now I got Bionic hips to carry it all.
Yeah. And, you know, it was one of those things where we were right up front. We didn't play any games just because we were seeking attention. We were both okay, I think, by ourselves. We were living our best lives by ourselves. That we weren't afraid to say, if you walk away, I'm cool. I've been through, stuff.
Mhm.
It's not going to faze me. But I would kind of like to know, though, when you figured it out. Like, what moment you figured it out.
Like I said, there was a time I just...
Was it just like a culmination of a bunch of different moments?
Yeah, I think it was probably just as things progressed, be like, yeah. And then we started talking about, probably before you moved in, actually, probably before we even talked about moving in.
What caused you to go buy the ring, though? Because you said you had it for a while before you popped the question.
Because that's the way it was supposed to be. I mean, in the natural order of things, we'd already had the conversations. It was just getting to there. And at that point, it was Black Friday, and you were like, I got to work. And I'm like, well, you know what? Today's a perfect day to go out and see if I can't find a ring.
So at that point, you already knew you were going to ask me to marry you. You just had, it was just...
I was just being lazy. I kept dragging my feet about it.
Was there a specific reason why you did though, or was
Because
it
I'm
just
lazy,
because?
I was dragging my feet about it.
That's not the answer I was looking for.
Well, I figured the answer was gonna be like, oh, because I've been burned in the past so many times, so I didn't want to.
Well-
I wanted to have the ring, but I didn't want to.
No, the
Right off the
conversations that
rip.
we've had before then, that didn't apply, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of conversations that we had that you guys were not a part of because
We had
That's-
a lot of those conversations while you guys were in school. But what you had just said was what was just the next step in the relationship.
No.
There was no... This is how it came off to
Yeah,
me.
but-
Okay, but what you had just said is like, well, that was just the natural progression of the relationship. Like, you didn't have a choice. You just had to take the
No.
next step.
no, it's we'd already had the conversation that we were going to be together for the rest of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It was already determined. Once that, I mean, that had already been set. So it might sound a little colder than what it actually is because it's not supposed to sound cold like that. But once the goal is set, once you figure it out, like, hey, you and we're going to be together forever. Like, I'm now your bad penny. You can't throw me away
I
because
wouldn't call you
I'm
a bad
just-
penny, but okay.
you can't get rid of a bad penny, right? That's just the way it is.
Can't get him an ex-in-law either.
Well, you
Or an
can.
ex. I wouldn't dream of getting my
You-
ex-in-laws. I love my ex-in-laws.
Yeah, you can't. You can get
They're
rid
going
of.
to come to my next wedding. That
can't-
tells you how much I love them.
You can get rid of exes out of your life. I mean, you can't get rid of them off the planet, but you
Not when you parent with them. You just can't get rid of the bad smelling shoes.
get. Well,
I get what you're saying though,
Yeah.
but like,
it was the fact that we'd already had a bunch of these conversations. We'd already talked about it.
we already
We
know what
already
both of us are
decided.
looking for.
We already decided. It was just at that point. It was just okay. Now I gotta get off my lazy butt and go. It's gonna sound bad and make right for the conversations that we had because we'd already talked about it. We'd already said you already knew that I was going to propose. You already knew that we were going to get married way before then.
Mhm.
We'd already had those conversations. I drugged my feet for a while just because I was too lazy to go shopping for one. And if I was going to do it, I needed to make sure that you weren't around. And by that time, you were already living here. And you're like, it was Black Friday. I'm like, well, if you're going to make a big purchase, that's definitely the day to do it. Because you can
Save
get,
yourself some money.
you can say, a lot of money I did. So that was the day. And it just worked out great that you had to go into work that day. And I'm like, sweet, I got the house to myself. I don't know where these guys were.
They were at their dad's.
Yeah, maybe.
They went to their dad's the last 2 Thanksgivings because you guys kept Christmas with me.
Anyway, I was here by myself. I'm like, well, I'm just going to stare at the 4 walls. So now's a good time as any. So that's when I went. And then I got the ring, and then I'm like, shoot, I got to have a conversation with your family. Of course, love you guys, but it didn't matter what you said. I was going to propose anyway. But I was glad I was glad I got the blessing beforehand. So that worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
So
Are they different questions?
yeah, they're 2 different questions.
Okay.
One's
So
for
ask
you,
yours
one's for him. I'll ask you yours first.
Okay.
Mine, for me, your question is, were you glad he proposed at the Kane Brown concert, or would you have wanted to be at somewhere else?
I don't think I would have cared where it was, to be 100% honest. As long as I get to marry him, it's a cool story to tell, but I didn't want, so I think what you're referring to is I didn't want to be on the Jumbotron. I didn't want to.
She didn't want the whole place to see what was going on.
So the reason for that being, to answer your question, is because it's become so nowadays people's like engagements are all over the internet, all over social media. Who can outdo somebody else?
There's nothing personal about it anymore.
I wanted it to be something between he and I didn't want to become a viral, my God, they got engaged at the Kane Brown concert during da 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 da. You know, like I didn't, while that would have been okay, I would have dealt with it if that had happened. I wanted it to be a little bit more personal. I didn't want it to be for show.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like when proposals happen, they're for show. And that if that works for you, that works for you. But like that's just not me.
Yeah.
I had actually told him that I would have loved to be off-roading because we both love off-roading. My dream proposal was you guys were involved. We were riding. You guys went ahead. You guys were finding a little place to, mess around. And next thing I know, I'm coming around a curve and each one of you is holding a sign that says, will you marry? And then he has me in his hand or he's down on one knee. And I honestly thought, because he had started to talk about it a little bit more, and Maddie had kept asking, like, well, when are you guys going to get married? When are you guys going to get married? Da, 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 da. And so I honestly thought he was going to do it 2 weeks after he had done it. Because we were going off-roading. We always go up on Memorial Day weekend up to our friends. And that's when I thought he was going to do it. Because he had asked me multiple times. And I said, just don't do it at the Kane Brown concert. Because I don't want to be on the Jumbotron. I don't want to be in everybody's videos. And, can I see the ring? I don't want that.
Yeah.
I did not want that.
Sounds like a good place to do it.
And that's exactly where he did it. And mind you, my response was probably not what I was expecting my response to be. So for those of you
who
didn't know the story, he popped the question during our song, which is Thank God, with his wife, Caitlin. And we always sing that line, thank God for giving me you. We always look at each other when we say you. And he waited till the very last line that says, thank God for giving me you. We had turned and he had it hidden where only I could see it. And I literally went, oh, seriously? Because my first thought, to be honest, was like, oh shit, this is happening. Oh shit, everybody's around us. Don't react. I don't want to draw attention. And then all I kept saying is, are you serious? You're serious. And he finally was like, poor dude. He's probably like, is she going to say no?
I knew.
I mean, he knew what my answer was going to be, but I was literally so surprised. And then he said, well, I didn't buy it for nothing. So, yeah, we You know how most girls will be like, yes, yes, yes. I was like, you really want to enter into this crazy life of mine? You really sure about this? Like, I wanted to make sure he was sure. And then he's like, well, duh, I didn't buy it for nothing. Like, that's us though. Like, I'm hyper like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he's like, I'm very, very sure. So, yeah, I just wanted it to be a very personal between he and I didn't want a bunch of videos out there of us.
Yeah.
And
That makes sense.
I didn't feel comfortable in my skin anyway, and that would have just made it worse.
Yeah.
So I wanted it, and he did it perfectly, to be
Yeah.
honest. He caught me off guard, which he very rarely does, because he's not just the man I'm choosing to spend my life with. He's my best friend. We share a lot of things together. We spend a lot of time together. We enjoy time together. So,
Especially when she's cheating at cards.
which is never.
I don't know about that.
So
Says the girl who gets wild every time she gets a hand. And I don't mean one. I mean, like, she gets 10 wilds.
okay.
And I've never dealt them either, so you know.
Yeah, well, you know.
So
Any other questions?
My next question is for Ben.
Okay.
And
It's getting warm in here.
You in the hot seat now.
so I know from like your previous relationships you have other kids and only one is your biological ones. Do you feel hurt that we don't call you dad?
No.
We call you by your name.
No.
Why?
Because when I think of dad, I think of biological father. And I'm not your biological father. Now, there's always meanings behind the word. Like father means biological, dad means somebody who raises you. And I do my best to try to raise all of you guys. But I don't necessarily, it doesn't bother me at all if you call me Ben. Because I know that if you're talking to me and you're asking me questions, the word dad is just that. It's just a word. If you're coming to me for, problems or issues and I'm putting you, trying to get you to see how things are going to be and so you'll excel in life, that's what matters to me. The name doesn't. Some people get hung up on it.
Yeah. So like I remember when we first moved in here and we had that like big fight because I think I was like really angry at mom for something and then
You were angry at me for a very long time because you felt like I was the one preventing you from having your parents together.
Yeah, but then I happened to like say something about like how I didn't want you to be my dad and like stuff like that. And I know a lot of people get like very upset when things are said like that. So I guess I'm just kind of asking like, even if I never did call you dad and I just kept calling you Ben, it wouldn't change anything.
No.
And
because your day-to-day actions, when you come up to me and we pass and I pick on you and you smile and you giggle, that's all that matters.
Or you call her floppy fish and she's real angry.
Yeah. If I call you floppy fish or whatever the case may be, right?
Got the hate for it now.
That's what matters. It's the actions that you have on a daily basis. The name itself, to me, has no bearing.
Do you feel like it's the emotional connection versus the title?
Probably, yeah. There's more of an emotional connection than anything else. So, like I said, I'm more of a person of action, not of words. So words, although I like hearing stuff, the words themselves are not really don't have no much weight, right? Like calling me dad or calling me Ben does not have any weight.
But you do a good job of like supporting the kids in their relationship with their bio dad.
Well, yeah, because I have other kids that have biological fathers too. Mm-hmm. I have friends that are the same, and it's important for you to have a relationship with your biological dad as long as it's there, right?
Or it's not harmful.
Well, yeah, as long as it's safe for you, it's important for you to have that. Not just for right now, but as you get older too, because eventually none of us are going to be here. And if you don't give yourself the opportunity to know that person, good, bad, or indifferent, when they're gone, you're going to second guess. Well, I really wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have done that. So you need to make sure you have that relationship so you don't second guess yourself when you get older.
You okay? It means a lot, huh? That he loves you for who you are, kiddo. We all do. That you have to, we've talked about this multiple times. You have to be comfortable in your own position in his life because it's your relationship with him outside of me. Now, yes, you are my child. It's my job to protect you, but you two have your own language. You two, sometimes to be honest, sometimes I get jealous of it because I feel like he understands you better than even I can because you guys' brain works similarly.
Just high five.
But he gets you. He doesn't expect you to be this person on a pedestal that, some of your maybe friends expect you to be. Sometimes, I can expect you to be, not meaning to expect you to be. But to your point, he has never pushed you to call him anything outside of be respectful, right? And I think that based on your reaction, that has been a peaceful thing. There's no expectation. He'll meet you where you're at. You'll meet him where he's at. And you guys will work out whatever it is that you guys will work out in your relationship. But I think because you are secure, you are loved, say what you want to say. But when you're going through what you're going through with what you got going on, and they all know what you got, it wasn't, you wanted me there. But when you didn't see him there, you were like, where is he at? Where is my person that gets me through this, that makes me laugh through and I can do everything in the world. And you know that you want me there for emotional support. But when you're in those positions where you're stressed out, you're scared, you want your safety net.
And make you feel comfortable.
You make her feel safe. And you make her feel safe for thinking the things that she thinks, wanting the things that she wants, because you don't judge her for saying, the craziest thing you could ever think of because you've thought of something crazy.
Chances are I already thought about it.
Well, but that's what I mean. And I think for a kid who is 16 years old, and I can say this about both your parents, I will work extremely hard to figure you out. But there's an ease with you two. Because you and I had a lot of years where you were just hateful because we've talked about this. You were mad because I ended it with your dad. I walked away from that family life, and I was the one that was unwilling to go back to that. And now that you're kind of older and you understand, could you imagine me going back to that and then me telling you that don't stand for that?
Yeah.
It would be a double standard.
Yeah.
But for a lot of years, you were angry at me. And we had to process through that. I mean, it got so bad that, we've talked about this before, you got in my face. And at that moment, to be honest, because of my own childhood trauma, I saw red. And your grandma had to separate the two of us. Nothing happened, luckily. But and then when grandma explained it, you're like, oh crap. And I think that was really a turning point in our relationship because you had to start communicating that you were angry with me. Because I was trying to get you to admit it because I knew it. But then here he came and it was just effortless. He just met you where you were. And I think it threw you for a loop because you didn't know that it could be that easy. Because even with your dad, I felt like you felt unseen. And I don't think it was because we didn't try. I think it was just that you were so closed-mouthed and so angry that he was an outside perspective. So I think that that's kind of why. And you guys are extremely similar. in how you guys process things.
Yeah, but I can grow facial hair. What's your excuse?
She can grow hair in other places too.
That's
That's not what I meant.
Well,
I meant her hair. Okay, I meant hair, or like eyelashes or eyebrow. Like,
what's wrong with my eyelashes and eyebrows?
you need to manscape, sweets.
Oh no.
No, he got gray hairs now.
Yeah.
No, he had way before we got here. He just has more now. But yeah, you guys definitely have a unique relationship where, and I've told you this from the get-go when we talked about, if I ever met somebody, I don't expect you to call him dad. I don't expect you to disrespect your dad's position in your life. My hope for you is that you would find a unique name for this person, for Ben, that is just the two of yous. So, if that ended up being dad one day, whatever.
But
But it was a title that you held for him and him alone, like you do with your dad.
Now I have another question I want to ask now.
Okay.
And I think Maddie and I both think of this a lot.
Maddie looks bored.
Huh? You know how dads are supposed to walk their daughters down the aisle, but sometimes it could be a grandfather or like a mom if they want
anybody.
to. Or
Yep.
just my only thing is that I obviously don't have to worry about that now because I'm too young. But
let's hope you got some years, okay?
But
live your best life before you get married.
My thing is that I don't think you expect us to ask you to walk us down the aisle, right? I mean, I think you would.
I would not expect you to ask me. If you did, I would take that in the highest regards, and I would. If you didn't, I would not be offended. I would not get my feelings hurt because you didn't ask me. That is the person that you want to be there at that time. And it's strictly up to you.
It's because, I know Maddie
And there are times that you can have more than one person walk you down the aisle.
Yeah, because I was talking to Maddie because we were talking about your guys' wedding and stuff. Now we were supposed to walk down to take our seats. I kind of mentioned about how if I were to get married, I would probably want both, you and Dad, to walk me down the aisle, because you both are very different, but you both mean a lot to me, and it's that big day where it's basically you're sending your kid off basically to start a new life with the person they love, and since you don't have yours to walk you down the aisle, I feel like I don't want to take that for granted. And I feel like it's hard. I don't know if it is hard for you to think about that.
Think about you getting married?
No, you walking down the aisle without a dad. Because I feel like you always pictured walking down the aisle with your dad.
I never did with my dad. My dad being who my dad was, I knew that was never going to happen.
She wouldn't have wanted him there anyway, probably.
I don't know, because forgiveness is
it's a fickle thing.
It's a very powerful thing. I had forgiven him years and years and years and years ago. But I always knew the person that would walk me down the aisle.
The person that she wanted her there the most would have been her grandpa.
It would have been my granddaddy. And I lost him far before I got married. But this is those moments where you have to remember. I had many, many, many amazing men in my life. And so naturally, Uncle Mark was, I have Josh and I have Uncle Mark. And so I had people that I felt
They could fill that spot.
they could never fill Grandpa's shoes,
No,
but loved me enough to be there on my big day. And so to answer your question, no, it was never. It was hard for me from a standpoint of not having my grandpa there and not having my grandma there. But in that moment, I had men in my life that I knew that loved me and that got me through not having a dad in my life. And so shout out to Maddie and Michaela for, being our spokesperson. What is it? The announcer?
The staff member.
No, what is it?
That just got me.
It's like a
Shout out to them for being our narrator, because that's the word I was looking for. And asking the questions and making us really think. We had to stop so that he could get his brain in the right mode, if you didn't notice. But
So don't forget to comment, like, share. Specifically the like and the share. Those definitely help us go in the direction that we need to go in. And it helps us know that you guys are actually listening. So we appreciate it. You can, and if you have any questions, ideas, whatever, you can email those to us at happyhouseholdpodcast@gmail.com.
or you can comment on a video or message either one of us. You guys have our personals.
Yep.
If not, then, well, get on the ball. Just kidding.
And with that, I guess we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.